Oh, my brother. Yes, sir. I'm going to tell you right now. It's very interesting. But the moment I left from Compton College with the understanding of politics, do you know that the vast majority of people involved in politics don't know the basics of it? You might think they do because they've ascended to a certain level within this game that you call politics. But I will tell you, someone said, who's the first president? The first president was John Hanson. It was under the Articles of Confederation when each president had a one-year term. He was a Caucasian male. He was not a black man. Many people believe the first president was a black man. Under that sense, it was not. John Hanson is a white man. That black man was actually the president of Liberia, not the same John Hanson. I believe there were 8 or 9 presidents under the Articles of Confederation until it transformed into the constitutional form of presidency where the presidential terms were now 4 years. Either way, none of it was to our benefit whatsoever. And the Constitution itself was stolen from what's called the Iroquois Confederacy. The Iroquois Confederacy under the Native Americans. So what you read as the Constitution, the majority of it, anything that sounds good or decent whatsoever, was stolen from the Iroquois Confederacy. The other part of that is that they removed the spirituality from it. And all of a sudden you have what's called the United States Constitution. Yeah. Trump or Biden, doesn't matter. The agenda matters. The money behind the agenda matters. Our unity to push the agenda for them to fulfill matters. That's it. That's how it is, period. Now, again, if you are going to choose how you treat a person in your life based upon who they vote for or don't vote for, there's something wrong with you. I got to say that again. That's right. It's my cousin right there, Will Justice. Nothing they have isn't stolen. Correct. They stole everything. They stole it all. Even the Constitution itself. Because the founding fathers of America were some of the biggest criminals in Europe. So they were kicked out from King George. You want to know what's funny? Let me tell you what the founding fathers did. And I'm not going to say this is what we should do, but I will tell you it. Some of the things that they did, it would be intelligent for us to do. Some of the things they did. The founding fathers of America, if you want to look at George Washington, John Jay, Paul Revere, John Hancock, John Paul Jones, James Otis, etc., 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 etc. All of the over 50 signers of the Declaration of Independence in the Philadelphia Congress, etc., whatever. Biggest criminals out of Europe. Rapists, killers, murderers, thieves, etc. They were chopping off heads and killing police officers and soldiers and all of that in Europe. King George asked them, what do you want? They said, we want a nation to call our own. We want our own everything. That's what we want. So America happened to be that land. Under Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand, 1492. You're talking about Spain, the individuals who helped to sponsor, more so the Jewish rulers who helped to sponsor Cristobal Colon, who you know as Christopher Columbus or Cristoforo Colombo. She had something called the 100-year plan. Queen Isabella. You must know about the 100-year plan. And my point for bringing all of these pieces up is that they chopped off heads. They were killing in order to get something for themselves. Now, I'm not saying we should kill. I'm letting you know these are points. So they did what they did over in Europe, killed some of the people, were fighting against soldiers. They pushed revolutions. They rose up against the government, etc., etc. So the government asked them, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? They say, we want a land of our own, a place we can call our own, etc., etc. Boom. America happened to be that land. Boom. They came over and wiped out the natives. Boom. They went through what is called South America, wiped out the Taino people, the Taino massacre. You need to know about the Taino massacre, Taino, Taino massacre. They did this virtually everywhere they went. But on the way here, finally they get here. They wipe out the people after befriending them to a point. People believe, oh, when they met the Pilgrims and they had dinner and Thanksgiving. No, they murdered the people after they taught these Europeans how to farm, how to cook, how to dress, how to bathe in certain areas, how to do certain things. They taught them. Then after they learned virtually everything they could from the natives, then they slaughtered them. The turkey that you eat during Thanksgiving being stuffed, there are some things that I've heard from some of our native brothers and other things. One of the things that I've heard from one of our native brothers is that turkey being stuffed represents the native man whose head and legs they chopped off and who they stuffed his body and put his body on the table. These are one of the things that I heard. So my point in bringing all of that up is the very foundation of this country before, of course, it was a part of the Moorish Empire. You need to learn about that part of America's history as well. But they killed, murdered, they pushed revolution, they stood up against the government, they pushed for rights, they fought and stood up until they got what it is that they wanted. Now, I'm not saying we need to do the same thing. I'm just saying founding fathers did it. They got America. All right. And now we all know that, of course, trying to do things that white people do doesn't always work out in our favor. So I'm not saying entirely do what they did, because other people did the same thing too. But the point is, they shed blood to get what it is that they got. They wanted a nation. We want a nation. They wanted a place where they could establish their own everything. We want a place where we can establish our own everything. They wanted to have their own banks. They wanted to have their own transportation. They wanted to have their own farmland. They wanted to have their own grocery stores, their own schools, their own everything. We want to have our own farmland, our own grocery stores, our own transportation systems, our own hospitals, our own banks, our own airports. We want to have our own everything. Well, we might have to at least stand up for ourselves, at least unite, because guess what? At the very bottom of it, they were united. They were united. They were united. And that's the main thing that I took away from how the Europeans took over in this area. Europeans fighting other Europeans to get this land. They were united. So in that case, I have to at least look at that and say, you know what? I got that. I see that. We need to be united too. The final chapter in this book, link in the bio, goes over not just Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I go over some of the over 60 black towns that we had. Have you ever heard of Africa Town? You ever heard of that? Free man towns. Tons of them. Link in the bio. You will never, and we will never, and I will never, and we will never again gain any level of respect or authority over ourselves, over our people, etc., unless we demand it, unless we unite, unless we pull our resources and do something for ourselves. Black women will never gain full respect. Black men will never gain full respect. Ever. Unless we come together, unite, and do something for ourselves. Nothing else. Nothing else will do this. Period. Doesn't matter who you vote for, but you can vote. It's up to you. Again, you can vote. Give me 5 more minutes and I'll be off of here. When I was going to my political science class and our professor told the whole class, this man told the whole class, he was like 5'1". He stood 5'1", bald head white dude, an alumni from UCLA. I will never forget this man. His name was Paul Floor. Paul Floor. First class, first day, first statement he makes, the moment we all sit down and the moment that door closes, he said, for those of you who think you know anything about politics and about voting and about elections and presidencies or any of that, just know that everything that you think you know is a lie. That's the first thing this little short white man said. And I was like, huh. So I was like, that was real honest. I'm like looking at the class. I'm like, y'all heard what he just said? First thing. Second thing he said was, it is not voting that controls the presidency, it's money. It is the money. It is the money. I was like, well, God damn it. This white man is talking. I'm listening to him like, okay. And he said, and it's not just the money. He said, it's the agenda that backs, that the money is supposed to be backing. And you have to be collective in who it is that you are going to vote for. I'm like, this white man is just dropping boop, 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 and just straight up facts. And he's being honest. I'm like, I'm raising my hand. Sir, you know what you just said, right? He was like, yes. He said, I know that this may be, he said, this may come as a shock to some of you because he said, I'm a white man. I'm like, this, but keep talking, sir. He said, I'm a white man. I know. I understand. He said, I understand. He was real, just nonchalant. He said, I know I'm a white man and this may come as a shock to some of you, but it is what it is. You won't get anything out of politicians if you don't have any money. And if you don't have any money, you might as well just be thankful for whatever it is that you get. And then he starts going to the board. I was like, yo, needless to say, I got an A in that class. But my point is, everything we thought we've known was a lie. Because we know that they're selected before we elect them. We know the electoral colleges are the ones that control it. We know now, some people are getting it now, that the money is what controls it. Period. Then the agenda. And I got to drill this in our heads if we don't get it by now. The agenda, the plan. Everywhere you go, when there are important things to do, there is an agenda. If you want somebody to do something important for you, like change the condition of your life, change the laws that affect your entire society, you got to give them some tasks to do. Not just vote for them and pray that they're going to remember y'all. Remember us. We voted for you. That's nice. Thank you. While the people right across the room, the Jewish people, like, how you doing? 10 million to your campaign. Remember that? Hey, Mr. Mr. Goldberg. Hey, how you guys doing? How's the wife? Children good? Hey, you know what? Let's go get some lunch later. Pressure. Money, pressure, agenda, money, pressure, agenda, money, pressure. That's what it is. Boom. Somebody asked, very good question, Miss Cal Barbie. She said, what is the number one task or the number one thing we should ask? Right. Let me see. What is the number one task we should demand? That should be an obvious answer. For those in this generation, number one, you should know and understand that reparations is absolutely still on the damn agenda. Reparations. Reason why? Because everybody else got it. They didn't suffer anything near as horrible as we have suffered and continue to suffer. What do you mean reparations? What's an example? Reason 8 to 10 states. For example. What do you mean 8 to 10 states? Give us 8 to 10 states what we are owed. 8 to 10 states is not what we're owed. We're owed all of this country. But let's just think about it. 8 to 10 states minimum. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote it in the back of the Final Call newspaper. Land. 8 to 10 states. One of those states, at least, has to have an outlet to the sea or ocean so that we can enter into international trade and commerce. So that we can start to do business with other countries and import and export goods and products so that we don't have to rely on America. That's number one. Land. Because if you get the land, you can establish anything out the land. You can build everything. You have all the resources. You have the food, the metal, all of that. Number one. Number two. Of course, the money is a major part of it. Rizza, what would you say is a good number? What would you say they owe us? What would you say? What idea would you say is a number that they owe us when it comes to reparations? How much money would you say for the over 300 years of free labor that we gave them? There was a professor at the University of Ottawa in Canada, and he came up with the calculations. If he looked at the minimum wage for those over 250 years, each day, Monday through Saturday, without pay. And the calculation came up to over $51.2 trillion. Over $51.2 trillion. And if you break that up to all of the people who are in America who are black people or the descendants of slaves, there are roughly 50 million of us here. Roughly 50 million of us here. We're looking at an estimated no less than 1.5 million per person. Now, I'm just saying it again real quick. Hold up. Roughly 1.5 million per person. That sounds about right. To accept that as a minimum, fine. Each one of us in America, 1.5 million per each one of us in America. That sounds about right, because now we got to think about it logistically. 50 million of us in America. Hold up. Like, let's not get beyond ridiculously greedy here. You give each black person $1 million in America. Oh, and then we're united. We're united, and we know what to do with it, where to put it, how to bring it together collectively so that we can actually flip that money the same way we flip $50 into 200 or 300. We can flip that 1 million into 3 or 4. Whoa. We know what to do. And hold on. For those of you who are doubting, reason that will never happen. Chill out. Just chill out, please. I never like negatives when it comes to us at least speaking solutions into the ethers of the universe. Listen to what I'm saying. Because you got to get the idea in your head. You got to put it in your head. Even if this government doesn't give it to us, we need to give it to our damn selves. We have to get into the mindset of being a master and no longer a slave. You got to get into that mindset. Get into that mindset. Get it up here. Get it here. Get it here. Get it here. What if? Because some of you may not get this, but a lot of black people now are starting to touch some money. A lot of us are now coming together and we are uniting with one another. We are pooling resources together. Before you start knocking stuff down, I don't expect this government to give us what they owe us. I don't expect it. No, I don't. But am I going to stop demanding it? Hell no. We're going to demand it the same way the Jewish people demanded it, same way the Chinese demanded it, same way, hell, the LGBT is demanding stuff, talking about we need reparations. Did you know that? The LGBT is demanding a certain level of reparations. And there was even a bill proposed where they were going to be given a couple $100 million, from my understanding. The LGBT was demanding a level of reparations. Did you hear what I just said to you? So please, man, please don't think of it as a handout, because it's not that. People are still eating today because their businesses were established with slave money. How many of you have a Bank of America account? What about a Chase Bank account? How many of you have a Wells Fargo account? All of those were established with money from slave labor. All of them. How many of you have that bank account? Chase, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, 1914, Federal Reserve Act, Jekyll Island, coast of Georgia, where they sold us as citizens. I mean, come on. They're still eating off of the money that they established from enslaving our ancestors. Literally. Don't think it's so far away. That's all I'm saying. Please stop playing. Some of y'all got bank accounts at banks that were established with the blood money from your ancestors being enslaved and our ancestors being enslaved. And y'all talking about, well, I don't want to hear nothing about no reparations. What? Tell a Jewish person that they don't deserve reparations from what Hitler did. They would slap you. If a Jewish person told their Jewish grandmother, Jewish grandfather, well, I don't think we need reparations. I think we just need to do it all on our own, which we do need to do it on our own as well. But I don't think we need to have reparations. They would disown them from the whole damn community. Get out of here. Get out of here. They would disown them. Get out of here. No, get out of here. You would never tell a Jewish person to forget the Holocaust, ever. You wouldn't, would you? But you would tell a black person to forget slavery? Come on, man. Please. Seriously. So again, I'm about to hop off of here. But just remember, Whoever becomes president, it doesn't matter if we are not going to put our agenda together and then put our money together and then put our united efforts, resources, influence together with which to push the agenda that we have written and that we have presented before the person who is now the president. Period. That's it. Nothing else needs to be said on it. That's it. There's no negotiating. There's no emotionalism. It has nothing to do with emotions. Period. That's right. Brother Malcolm said the ballot or the bullet. Which the ballot is followed up potentially with the bullet too. That's what these white, militias are saying. If Biden gets elected, we're going to be out there. It's war, man. You dealing with this? This election is about to be dangerous. The moment they announce who the president is, everybody who was soft talking, everybody who was soft shoeing, everybody who was jumping up and down, saying just vote, vote, vote. Everybody who was just playing around and cooning and all that to try to get this person to vote for them or that person for them. But all of it is about to come out, and it is about to be completely different than what you have ever experienced and what you have ever understood. The reality is different. So this whole emotional push that everybody's doing right now, talking about voting this, voting that, voting this, voting that. Just please understand. Once the person has been determined and decided and announced, that's when you have to know that we must go to work. Whoever you vote for is step one. But the agenda, the money, and our united efforts collectively to push whoever it is to fulfill our agenda is the real work. That's all I'm saying. So I'm letting everybody talk about go ahead and vote. Go ahead. Yeah, okay, whatever. Great. Cool. Because whoever's telling y'all to vote, ask them, are you ready to work after we get done voting? You ready to work? Because I know for a fact, whoever becomes president, that is who we're going to have to go address. That is who we're going to have to go meet with. That is who we're going to have to present our points in our program to. That is who we're going to have to negotiate with, period. Doesn't matter. I know I keep sounding like I'm harping on this because I am. And whoever you vote for, do not allow that to determine how you're going to treat your family, your wife, your husband, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, etc. If they vote for somebody who you ain't voting for, it's okay. It's two Caucasian white men that don't care about us. Again, I got to make that very clear because y'all are tripping out here. People are starting to mistreat each other based off of them not voting for the same person. I love my family. Some of my family is voting for Trump. Damn. Breeze, you serious? Yeah. Some of my family is voting for Trump. Some of my family is voting for Biden. Some of my family isn't voting at all. You think I care? Someone said, how do you maintain your patience? Understanding. If you understand who you're dealing with, you can't really get mad like that. You don't really get mad because you really understand who you're dealing with. I don't know too much about Armenia for me to discuss it, but I know they were out protesting Trump today because they were protesting against the war. And then an article in the LA Times came out and said that the Armenians are racist, I believe, against Trump or something like that. I'm not sure entirely, but they literally I drove through a major protest line and they said they're voting for peace and they don't want a war in, I think it was Turkey or something like that. I don't have all the information on that, but I don't know much about Armenia because I need to, I got to research it a little more. But, yeah, someone said, F all that voting. We at war. They trying to kill us. I'll say this. I agree. They are trying to kill us. We are at war. I agree fully. That's the fact. That is the ultimate fact. Hence why it doesn't matter who the hell you vote for. Hence why it doesn't matter who you vote for. So don't toss that on nobody. If you choose to vote, be like it was old school, where you didn't tell nobody who you voted for. You just went into that little poll box and you press a little button and you press a little tick, 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 tick. Vote for so-and-so for school board. You don't even know about the local elections, but they got the local tabs in there too to vote for locally and stuff like that. You didn't even know. Are you going to vote yes or no on Prop 421 for public housing? You're going to vote yes or no for, Senate Bill 2398 for equal this and all that. You don't know. You just you think you'll go on there. It's just going to be Biden or Trump. No, when you go to vote, it's more than that. We at war, man. If you choose to vote, fine. If you don't, fine. That is an option. You choose Trump, fine. You choose Biden, fine. You choose neither, fine. Because after it is all said and done, the work begins after. The real work begins after. And if you're not already doing work in the hood right now, helping the people right now, working on programs right now, building the community right now, preventing the Bloods and Crips from killing each other right now, preventing people in different boroughs in New York from killing each other right now, preventing brothers and sisters in Chicago from killing each other right now, establishing jobs right now, helping the people flip their credit right now, feeding the homeless right now, getting people back into positions where they can take control of their life right now. If you're not doing any of this type of work right now, then it's not going to be so easy for you to just jump into it after the new white man takes the old white seat in the old White House built by strong black people. You won't be able to just jump into activity. You got to start getting to work now. Get your elbows dirty now. Get in the dirt now. Start figuring out what you can do now. Get in where you fit in now. That's all. Do what you can now in your city, in your family, in the group you're part of, at your job. Figure out what you can do to help the people now so that you can start getting some experience. Because once you get into this ring, it's much different. You're not just going to jump into a heavyweight fight and you a featherweight. You just trust me. Most people are commenting, not right here, but there are a lot of people commenting all over posts and all over the internet, criticizing and talking who ain't never helped nobody in their damn life. Never been in the community, never have been a part of community coalitions and organizations and groups, never been a part of nonprofits, never have been inside the community working with the people, don't know what this stuff is about, but they're criticizing. Saying a lot of stuff, don't know what the hell they're talking about. You don't know about a 501c3, you don't know about a 508, you don't know about this organization, you don't know about this type of nonprofit, this is a for-profit, you don't know about this or that. You haven't done food drives, you haven't done school drives and free backpack this and you come on, man. You haven't been standing in court because some of your students and people who are graduating from your program, this was their court hearing and this was their probation hearing. And they were getting off because they had a good record in your program because your program helped them and you helped to stabilize a job and you helped them to have clean drug tests and make sure that they were staying off of drugs. And come on. You got to get it. You got to get it in here. You got to start building up some of this. It's a difference. It's a big difference. That's the only reason why I tell people, just be careful when you're talking on here. Even when you're telling people to vote, be careful. Just be careful. Vote, vote, vote. Yeah, okay. You tell them more people are telling y'all tonight, yesterday. And that I don't like. The only time we're supposed to be united is when we're voting for another white man. I don't like that. No, I don't like that. I'm not cool with it. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that right there. I'm not interested in that. The only time we're supposed to come together and unite and be all on one accord is when we all dressing up in blue because we the Democrats. Oh, we all Crips right now during election season. Or the only other time we're supposed to be coming together right now is when we all dressed up in red because we Bloods because this is election season. But we're not supposed to be banging on each other because we'll be just like the Bloods and Crips and we don't want to be like that, right? But we're being hypocritical as hell because I'm wearing red and you're wearing blue and I don't like you and you don't like me. And you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican, even though I don't really know what the hell those are anyway. And all of them are being ran by white men. Aren't they the ones who enslaved us and did what they did? Or some black folks enslaved black people? Whatever. White man did worse to us than anybody ever did to us, period. And when you say the Arabs are not an actual group of people. It's like calling a person an American. The Arabs that enslaved us were Caucasian too. Caucasian white folk. So knock it off. Yeah, I have to just make sure we understood that at that point. Just the reality is that's what it is. Don't sell me nothing. Start getting your elbows dirty. Start looking at what you can do. Start looking at what you can do, how you can help the people, how we can help each other, unite with each other, regardless about politics. More black people are involved in politics now than I've seen in a long time. And what's interesting to me is, damn, white sky daddy, like real, all of y'all, like really? I haven't heard y'all say anything about let's all unite and buy land yet. So I've been saying it, and I've been watching plenty of people say it. I'm saying the major artists who have been telling y'all to vote have not told y'all to buy land. The major artists who I've witnessed who've been telling y'all to vote have not told y'all to pull your resources together and start buying gold, because the economy's upside down. And to buy silver coins because the economy's going down. I haven't seen these major artists telling y'all that regardless of who becomes president, we're going to have to work after this, and we got to come together and do something for our communities right now. And I understand some of them are ignorant to the facts. That's true. Some of them really don't know. Some of them really think that voting. You know, Snoop and Ice Cube, they talked about a black agenda. Cube definitely has been on point when he talked about that. He said, if you don't have nothing, if you don't have our agenda, then we ain't about to be voting for you. That's why I'm not tripping again. See, when you're in the community and you do this for real, it's different. You have a different mindset because you're already doing it. You get what I'm saying? You already do it. Once you start helping the people in the community, once you start getting this real life work done, it's different for you. You don't actually rely on the artist to say anything. The only issue is you're like, more people are looking at y'all, so we need you to say this. That's all. That's what you feel. But you're already doing the work, so just keep doing the work. That's the difference. So yeah, man, I think that will be it for me tonight. I'm going to say this last point and I'm done. Your vote, your choice. Don't mistreat anyone else because of who they vote for. It does not matter. Whoever votes, if you choose to vote, fine. That's your choice. Your vote will not change anything alone. It will not. So don't get your hopes up just because you voted. Don't walk around here privileged just because you voted. Don't walk around here with your chest up and coming down on people who didn't vote just because you voted when voting alone. Voting alone does nothing. Period. Never do that to somebody. Vote, so you ain't got the right to speak. I will destroy you righteously. Because just because you voted don't mean you can say something. How about this? You go ahead and vote. I'm going to unite and collect as many of our people together to come up with a number of money. Let's just say $30,000, $50,000. Get an agenda agreed upon. Forget 1,000. Let's say 1,000,000. Let's just say, right, just as an example. You go ahead and vote. I'll get a group of our people together, as many of us as possible. We'll come up with $1 million, and we're going to go meet with the candidate who becomes the president. And let's see if they're going to hear your goddamn vote over our money and our agenda. Let's do that. That's how you handle this. Don't say nothing to me about just because you voted, you get to say something and I don't. Don't do that. No one on here should do that either. And make sure you say the same thing to everybody who says that to you. Just because you choose not to vote. No. Don't do that. I want to make sure we just get that through our head, because I know somebody's going to try to come at me on that. And I'm waiting for them. Oh, I'm waiting for them. Humility is going to be the key to get us through most of this stuff. But don't mistreat each other. Don't worry about it. Don't mistreat or don't dislike your husband, your wife, your father, your mother, your uncle, your auntie, whoever is in your life. Don't mislike them or dislike them or mistreat them or abuse them just because they voted for Trump and you voted for Biden, or they voted for Biden, you voted for Trump, or they voted and you didn't, or they didn't and you did. Don't mistreat them at all. Don't. Look at them, understand, cool. And understand that once the voting is done and the election is done and the announcement is made, that's when the real work is going to start. That's all. I wanted to make sure we said that because I'm seeing a lot of people go crazy right now. But the real work comes after the agenda, the money, the unity. That's what is going to solve our problem. The agenda, the money, our unity. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you do this. Go ahead and click the link in the bio. Get my book. People are saying, Rizza, why are you plugging your book? Because it's my book and I believe it can benefit you. You don't have to get it. It's up to you. You really don't have to. But I did write it just for y'all. So link in the bio, link in the bio, link in the bio. Very important, very relevant, very important, very relevant information, solutions, history, facts, statistics. A lot of stuff in here that I think is absolutely going to be beneficial to you. But again, it's your choice. You don't have to get it. It's just an option. All right. I appreciate y'all. May Allah bless each and every one of you. Have a good night. Rest, rest, rest. Get up tomorrow. We got another day. Get some work in. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.